So here's a thought. Did you actually pray to God about that situation and about that person and about whatever thing you were getting ready to step into? Or did you tell God, this is what I'm going to do and deal with the consequences later? A lot of us get that mixed up. We tell God what we're going to do and then we'll deal with the consequences later. Because you've already made the decision that you're going to move forward. You said you put it before God, but you moved before God. When you pray to God over a situation or over a decision that you're going to make, you actually have to be intentional and wait to hear back from Him. Patience might be one of the elements you need to add into that equation when you're putting in that prayer. Give me patience to wait while you give me that answer. Open my spiritual eyes while I'm waiting on that answer. Give me wisdom and discernment as I move around that decision or as I'm waiting. But to move before you get an answer, you've already decided you're going to do what you need to do and then fit God into wherever you want Him to fit at to make it look like that decision is sound. When all in all, when you move forward that decision and that situation, you see no peace in it. You see more destruction than you see peace in it. And if you're seeing more destruction than you're seeing peace, you weren't supposed to move into that situation. Don't get that mixed up with your feelings of fear and all, because you can still have peace and overcoming your fear. But if you absolutely 100% see, there is nothing that I can do in this situation that makes this situation give me peace, you move before God because you told Him what you were going to do versus waiting for Him to tell you what to do. Sometimes not hearing from Him is simply Him saying a protection over you with stand still, be still, I am there. But if we move before God, you don't get to pick the consequences that come with that. And you will see that there won't be peace in that situation or within that area that you're at. You notice how you get very irritated and irritable when you're dealing with that situation. You almost completely become a different person. It's because you decided to go against what was going to be told to you if you would have just stayed and wait on what God was going to reveal to you. Now, God is a forgiving God, so you can go forward and do what you need to do. Prayerfully, you're covered and protected. But now you're creating situations and long-term effects that could really hurt you when you could have just waited to hear from God. If you don't know how to, that's another prayer you need to ask. Open my spiritual eyes. Open my heart. Show me. Communicate with God. It's an ongoing conversation. But the moment you told God what you was doing versus praying to God what you was doing, you already made that decision. So the consequences that come from that, you can't get angry at God because, oh, I can't believe you did this. Like, how could you let this happen? It is something that you have to grow when you're growing spiritually and maturing with God. You have to wait hand in hand. It's a partnership. You got to wait together. You guys got to move together with this situation. One doesn't go ahead. It's a collaboration. We're moving at the same beat. I mean, of course, He's way ahead of us because he's the owner of time and He does whatever He wants to do. But when you go before God and you're putting a prayer and petition before God, it's simply putting it at God's altar and waiting to hear back. Sometimes you might hear right back. Sometimes you might hear back weeks, months, years, until you're fully developed to understand how to hear from Him. You need to slow down and wait. We have such a tendency of telling people, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how it's going to be. And then not wanting to understand that the consequences were already laid out once you started moving forward. They were going to come. When they come is when they come. And now you're in a situation that you dread hearing and dealing with every day because you decided to move 10 steps ahead of God and go on your own free will. That's where that free will comes at. You have to balance that. The scales have to be balanced. But the takeaway from this is Did you pray to him, or did you tell him what you was going to do? Which one was it? And you know exactly what you did when you did it, when you prayed to him. Don't get the two confused. You have to grow spiritually. When you pray to God, you have to actually ask for the tools and resources to make you hear from God. Help me hear from you. The way you two communicate is the way you two communicate. You're differently made than anybody else because he knows this is how I communicate to this one. This is how I communicate to that one. Grow spiritually maturely so then you can hear from him. You can say, oh, the universe told me this, or I told God this and this is what I'm going to do. Keyword, you told God this is what you're going to do. Okay? So don't forget that the consequences come with that. And I'm telling you, if you make a decision and you're in that decision and you have no peace in that decision and you get so irritable and so irked and so irritated with the situation and the person around you and your spirit just does not settle there, you're not supposed to be in that situation. You were never supposed to be in that situation, but you chose otherwise. So the next time you have to make a very big decision, maybe small decision, whatever type of decision, put the request at God and await to hear from him and ask, give me discernment so you can know how to move. Give me wisdom, give me strategy, give me protection, give me patience, which is key. We don't have any patience. Open my spiritual eyes so I can see what I need to see before I move into the situation. I guarantee you, you will have less heartache, stress, anxiety, and pain if you just wait to see whether or not you're supposed to move. And not hearing does not mean he's not there. It could simply be not right now, and that's a huge protection. So the next time you put a request at God's altar, make sure it is in alignment with the prayers, and I'm telling you what I'm going to do. If you want to deal with the consequences, that's on you. I know it takes me one time to learn, maybe twice at the most, but it doesn't take much for me to learn that I don't want to make the mistake twice. So I hope you guys are having an amazing, wonderful, wonderful day. The sun is beaming on this beautiful November. I'm getting ready to go backwards. In November. Welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you to my day one subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love the comments that you guys are going back and forth into my videos. If you guys like, comment, and share, I hope you guys were moved by this video. If you like my videos, make sure you share them to a friend. If you find somebody who's in need of hearing from them, you guys, I have all my social media platforms connected to my videos. And I also have my favorite buttons. I'm wearing the shirt right now. That is connected to my website that will take you right there to review all my buttons. They are 10-second audio recording devices where you can give yourself self-encouraging words, daily encouragements. You can re-record over them. They are available for sale right now. Thank you so much for you guys giving super thanks. I really appreciate that. They are tenfold. I give that right back out to our local community. I do assistance with the homeless and whatnot. So I thank you guys so much for pouring back into me as I pour back into my community. And I hope it's returned to you tenfold. And until the next video, take care.